Does anybody remember Boy Meets World? I used to love this show when I was a kid with Mr. Feeney, with Korean Topanga. This was such a good show when I was a youngster. I really enjoyed watching this show. So now we got Trina McGee from Boy Meets World. She's pregnant at 54 years old. And this is interesting because I remember last year seeing a story from Al Pacino where he got his girlfriend pregnant at 83 and he couldn't believe it. He wanted a paternity test because he thought there's no way at 83 years old I got somebody pregnant, but he did. So this is pretty amazing. You know, I know the life expectancy really hasn't gone up for humans. Like in the United States anyway, it used to be 77. Now I think it's actually dropped to 76 for men. I'm not sure what it is for women. So it really brings up kind of an interesting point that we talk about in society when we talk about generations, is that if people really aren't living longer, but people are living better later in life, is what I would say. People have amazing careers now in their 60s and 70s, where most people were like, man, the first time they hit 62, they were done. They were done working, they were out. Maybe that's a symptom of our economy and inflation as well, but it's very interesting to see this trend. And I know medical science advances. I understand, I'm not saying that that's the case for this lady if she had to have some enhancements or not, but if she did or she didn't, it's her choice. The interesting thing though is that people are having children later and later in life now. Also, I see a big trend of people first in, the early 2000s, it was getting pushed back. People were saying, have your children in your 30s, get established first, buy a house, all that. Now the birth rate is dropping and people just aren't having many children at all anymore because it's just too expensive. I don't blame anybody, but this is really interesting to see. It used to be that over 30 was the age where people would say it was harder to start having a baby. But I think that as people take better and better care of themselves, that we'll continue to see cases like this. Now she's 54. I'm sure there's people even older that are still having children. I know men can still have children when they get older. Ladies are now too. And it's just very interesting to me as people take better care of themselves. What's the oldest person, either in your friends or family, that you've seen has had a child? And I have heard that it increases ladies' life expectancy if they have children later in life. So I'd like to know from you guys, what's the oldest friend or family member that you've had a child in your circle?